Hey, it's Michael, and today I'm reviewing a little butane microtorch. This is the LEXIVON butane microtorch. It's a multi-function toolkit that'll come in pretty handy for a lot of people. And it includes a carry case and some accessories. So let's get at it and take a look at this LEXIVON butane microtorch. All right, once out of the box, this is what you're going to get. This is the little warranty card information and then the operating instructions. The operating instructions are basically just to get you going as far as lighting the torch, but it doesn't really go into how you might use the tools that are included. But let me show you the case. It's a plastic case, not particularly heavy duty, but it does a good job right off the bat here, at least holding everything. So you've got the microtorch right here. Again, this is refillable, and you use a butane such as this. Butane that comes in containers like this, sometimes it'll have a different type of end here, so you want to make sure it has this type of end here. So what that does is that fits into the bottom here. This is an aluminum tank and it has a plastic grip over it, but this whole thing is aluminum, and then you insert the tip in here, insert it in squarely and press it in firmly, and then when the handle is filled, you'll see it venting, and that way you know it is full. So once you've done that, you have a full container of gas here, and depending on how high your flame is, this might give you up to 2 hours of actual use, probably a little less though. So then you've got some other controls on here. This is how you adjust the flame intensity, and that's minus and that's plus. Then on the back here, this is the little lock mechanism that protects the trigger from being depressed. When that is in the left position, then this is ready to be ignited, and then this is the starter button. It uses an electronic ignition, and there you go. That's how easy it is to start. Now when you first fill this, when you first use this the first time, you may actually have to attempt to start it a couple times just so the butane works its way through the whole system. But that's it right there. And then I can adjust the flame intensity by using this lever here. This is a lock, so if you want to use the lock, that'll keep the flame on. Of course, it's a little more dangerous at this point in time because you could drop this or put it down absent-mindedly and the flame is still operating. Another thing is, if the flame accidentally goes out and this is still in the lock position, you are going to still be ejecting butane here. Maybe you can hear it. In any case, I can assure you butane is coming out of here, and that will empty your tank in short order if you don't make sure that you unlock that. So those are the safety precautions. Now, once you've operated this, this will be extremely hot, so you want to be really sure that you don't grab that when it's hot. It was only on here for a few seconds, and since it's been off for a while longer, it's already cooled down for me, so I can now safely unscrew this. Now you do get a variety of tips here. This one tip is called the catalyst or the head, and this is what all the other tips will screw into. Each of these tips, right now I'm putting the standard tip on. This is what you might use if you're soldering a component to a circuit board or something. So what you do is you take this off, you drop this through, and then you reattach this, and then you ignite it. And once you ignite it, even though there's a tip on here, it is still, you can still see the red hot flame in here. So this tip is going to get extremely hot, hot enough certainly to melt solder. You have a variety of other tips here. This is a hot blower tip, so if you have shrink tubing or something like that, you could use that tip. You have a hot knife tip, so people who are doing woodworking of some sort, you might use those tips. This is sort of like a chisel tip. Then you have a diagonal tip, looks like a screwdriver, and then you have a deflector. You've got the two wrenches, an 8mm and a 7mm. The 8mm goes on the larger part here, and the 7mm is what you would use to tighten the tips.
You also get a little stand here. This is really about pretty cheesy here, but it does hold the handle like this. So if you're on a flat surface, not a cushion like I'm on, but if you're on a flat hard surface, it will hold the torch up. And then you do have a little sponge that you can get this wet, and this is good for wiping solder off or just cooling down the tip briefly. So that's about it. I think this is pretty useful. You can use this around your workshop, various tasks, soldering pipes. You can actually use this for creme brulee, which is the main reason that I got this. So I will be happily making creme brulee here in no time at all. Otherwise, it's a pretty handy little tool to have. And again, it just uses commonly available butane in tanks like this. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. I'll answer it if I can. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Have a great day.